Write this down. Culture is created and then it creates. I got this revelation from the Lord about 10 years ago. He says culture is created and then it creates. In other words, the people create their own culture. And then once it's created, it creates the people. Your children are born into it, and it's not even consciously taught. They just grow up in it, and that's it. Now it begins to create you. It creates people. That's why it's important for you to check what culture you're creating. And number 6 is dangerous. Culture is a product of law. Laws create culture. That's why God have the 10 commandments. The 10 laws of God are supposed to produce a culture of heaven on earth. I was sharing this with our church a few weeks ago. You know, whenever a country passes a law, it's creating culture. Write that down. Whenever a country is passing a law, it's creating culture. Therefore, the laws of a country are the source of culture. So if you want to change the culture of a country, you have to change the laws. I was talking to somebody 2 days ago, before yesterday. He's talking about tithing, you know. And I said, you know, there was no tithing in the scriptures until, you know, the point where Abraham came along. So before Abraham, there was no tithing. And that's a whole ball game to talk about. We can talk about that later on in our series, you know. The kingdom culture of tithing. But before, up until Moses, there was no Sabbath day. No Sabbath law. No tithing, no Sabbath law. Okay, why did God have to make laws out of these things? Because the people stopped doing them. So now God has to force them to do them so that they can become a habit again and become a cultural element. So if you pass a law, you are producing the next generation culturally. Are you with me? So that's why God told the people, this is my commandment. You pay 1/10 of everything you have back to me. It's a law, he says. Since you ain't giving it naturally, I'll force you to give it to become a habit. God still got a problem with that law, hey? Because even today, we still fight over that moment. God is hoping he just get rid of the law. Matter of fact, he plans to get rid of all written law. Read the Bible. He says the day will come when I want to write my laws on your heart. I don't want you to follow no list on no paper. That's why Christ never taught about tithing. It never was supposed to be a law. He said give. He said if you give sparingly, you reap sparingly. If you give bountifully, none of it, just give. But you see, if you become stingy, God will put you under law. And the law is in hopes that it will become a habit. So when you pass a law in a country that 2 men can get married. Now, some of y'all may think this is really, you know, not serious. You got 5% of the population approaching the government for same-sex marriage. 5%. That means 95% of the people don't want it. But if they make it law, it becomes a social norm, which becomes acceptable, which becomes culture, and now your little 5-year-old going to school is forced to read a book about 2 men getting married in 5-year-old grade school. By law. And the teacher gotta teach it. Even though the teacher don't believe it, or he loses his job. And then give that law 5 years. You'll have more same-sex marriages, including your son and your daughter. Because it becomes culture. Are you with me? God says, I command you. Bless the Lord. Why? Because he won't do it naturally. I command you, love one another. Why? Because you don't do it naturally, he says. He has to make it a law just for you to love people. Because it's not our culture. Number 6, culture is a product of law. And number 7, culture is natural and unconscious. Our session tonight was the principles of culture. This is a powerful, awesome principle. Culture. Culture is natural and what? Unconscious. Culture is something that you stop thinking about. You just do. Okay. The kingdom culture of worship is supposed to be natural and unconscious. We just bless the Lord at all times. Can't pay my rent, no problem. Just bless the Lord at all times. Business seemed to be in the red today. God said, no problem. Lift your hands and bless the Lord at all times. Our culture is all things work together for my good. So I just bless them. What a culture. Your husband pick you up late. Bless the Lord. See, it has to be culture. Otherwise, there can be a fight. It's rough, isn't it? You know, you go on the scale and you 10 pounds heavier. Bless the Lord at all times. And all that is within me, bless his holy name. And then the Lord would say, put aside every weight that so easily culture is supposed to be conscious. My prayer before I die is that there will be a group of people on the earth that capture kingdom culture, where they become unconsciously like heaven. They give without pressure. They love without dissemination. They forgive instantly. They love the unlovable. They pass what they have around. They let people drive in their cars. They open their tables and let people eat unawares, serving angels. Just let it be, oh Lord. Where they come into a place of worship and they don't need no worship leader. They come with the culture of worship, giving God praise without cheerleaders. What a culture. By the way, when John went to heaven, no one was leading worship. May it happen this week. May you get a revelation that heaven has a culture of worship. Well, we're going to stop here and pick up here tomorrow. This is going to be the most awesome experience you had all your life, because we're going to understand the mind of God and culture. Are you glad you came tonight? Give God a praise. Praise God. We are now going to depart. Please stand on your feet and tell your neighbor, I'm going to take on the culture of heaven. All right. Let's hold hands together and let's get our announcements first, and then we will be blessed with a benediction, and we will leave and pick up here tomorrow. Please give a big hand to our host, Pastor Mark Bethel.
Thank you very much, Dr. Monroe. As we prepare to leave tonight,